And so I'm going to go ahead and log in now as somebody who is not an attorney. All right, so this is, I think this is Mark. Yep, Mark Harrison. The user is not an attorney. So Mark wants to do some filings on behalf of the attorney that he works with. He does the same thing that we just saw. He says, okay, let me start a filing. Selects where he wants to file. He has those choices. And let's say that he wants to start a new case, initiate a case. That's okay, you can do that, even though he's a paralegal or legal assistant. The box shows check here if you are an attorney. He is not, so he's going to leave that unchecked. And so watch what happens when he goes to proceed. TurboCourt knows he's not an attorney. He's not checked the box stating that he's an attorney, so that must mean he's filing on behalf of somebody else who is an attorney. So we will show you all of the names of the attorneys that TurboCourt is aware of that are already registered in your firm. Okay? So in this situation, he's filing on behalf of Evan. Evan, as you may or may not know or remember, is already verified through our system. Right? So there's no extra step here. Evan's already been verified. I'm just filing on behalf of Evan. Great. I click next. TurboCourt says, yep, you're good to go. And it's going to let me proceed with that quick 3-step process. Right? There you go. Answer a few questions, attach my documents, and submit. This is Mark, the paralegal, filing on behalf of Evan, whether it was case initiation or simply filing into an existing case. Okay? Now let's rewind the tape. And let's say that in fact he's filing on behalf of Beverly. She's an attorney with your firm. However, she has not yet been verified by TurboCourt with regards to her juris number and e-services. So when Mark, the paralegal, goes to file on behalf of Beverly, the attorney, who is not yet verified, TurboCourt will look and say, wait a minute, we need to make sure that she's good to go with these services. And so this is where, no, somebody's already done it for me. Okay, I will pick another one. This is what happens when you're doing lots of setups and testing. Okay. Let's see, who hasn't been verified? Let's see. Gail probably hasn't been verified. There you go. Okay. So, TurboCourt wants to know Gail's juris number. So you've already seen this process, right? When we were doing it before, you provide the juris number, then you provide the e-services email address. Right? Then the person gets that email, they click on the verify link, and they're good to go. It's a one-time thing. But here, it's the paralegal who's doing it, right? The legal assistant who's doing it. So the legal assistant is going to go ahead and put Gail's juris number in. We're going to then bring up Gail's information. And it's going to then say, okay, give us Gail's e-services email address. Paralegal is going to put in Gail's e-services email address. The email goes to Gail, right? Going to Gail. It's not going to the paralegal. So the paralegal needs to communicate with the attorney, hey, I'm verifying you through the system. You're about to get an email. Please click on it right away so I can proceed. If the attorney's at lunch right now, not the right time to be doing this. Or maybe that is the right time, I don't know. You get the point. Okay, you're going to coordinate, again, one time only to verify this attorney, but you're going to need to coordinate because you're going to be sitting here on this screen waiting for the attorney to verify the email. Then you can click next and proceed. Okay? So there you go. All right, let's say you as the parent, so that was for initiating a new case with a verified attorney and then a non-verified attorney. Let's say you want to file into an existing case. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and say I'm filing into an existing case. I provide the case number that I need to file into. I do not check the box that says I'm an attorney. Once again, I'm going to select Evan, who is a verified attorney. Give it just a moment to verify everything. And there you go. You're ready to proceed with answering a couple of questions, attaching the documents, and submitting. Okay, rewind the tape. And if you selected, again, somebody who was not verified, you go through that exact same process we just saw. Provide the juris number, e-services, email address. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing case initiation or filing into an existing case, that process is the same. The attorney needs to be verified. Okay, there's another option here, which is particularly useful for paralegals and legal assistants, and that is to be able to gain access to the court case documents on a particular case. Now, you attorneys will be able to access all of your cases and all of the case documents through the My Cases functionality. I'm going to be demonstrating My Cases functionality in a little while. And as the attorney, you go to My Cases, you get access to all of your cases and all the documents that you're allowed to see related to those cases, right? But the paralegal doesn't have that. The paralegal is not on record as being a party to the case. But what if you want, as the attorney, you want your paralegal to have access to the documents? Well, they can get it. And this is how they would do that. They would say, right, because I'm logged in as Mark, the paralegal, said, I'm requesting e-filing access, which really means I'm requesting access to the documents. Okay? Once again, they put in the case number that they want access for. You indicate on which attorney's behalf you are requesting that you get case document access. Heather is a verified attorney, so we don't have to go through that process. She is an attorney. She also is an attorney on record in this case. So now if Heather was a verified attorney in your firm, but she is not on record as being a party on this particular case, we are not going to give you case document access. Right? We need to make sure that you're doing this on behalf of an attorney who is on record as being a party to that case. So if you were to select a different attorney, even if they were verified, but who is not on record on that case, you'll get an error message that says that can't go through. Okay? In this scenario, Heather happens to be on this case. So when I click next, well, sorry, Heather. Let's go with somebody else then, shall we? That's the message you'll get. Maybe Evan is on that case. Please, no. What case did I choose? All right, I'm choosing another case here. Okay, there you go. We automatically create this document called Request for E-Filing Access. We automatically sent it to the court already. And I'm just going to click an F5, and it's automatically accepted. There's no waiting, right? If you're saying that you want access to the case documents, and you give us a verified attorney who the court confirms is on that case, we will immediately give you access to those court documents as the paralegal or legal assistant, okay? And so there you go. You provided those key pieces of information. What's the case number? Who's the attorney? And we just immediately sent that document and it got accepted. And because it is an e-filed filing now, I've got the View for Case Documents button. I'm the paralegal. I now have access to all the documents on that case. Yeah? Some are links, some are not. If it's not a link, then for some reason it's not available to me. Maybe it's confidential, maybe it's sealed. And remember when I said that there will be times when you submit a filing and for some reason the court will invoice you as part of their review process. So that's an invoice, what it's called here, a billing summary. So there you go, there is one of those invoices. Let me go ahead and click on that. Now remember, I'm the paralegal, not even the attorney in this case, but I now have access to all of the documents. So this is for my attorney, Evan. And it looks like I've got a balance due. Looks like there was a recording fee. Right, and there you go. So that is how legal assistant paralegals can access case documents on any particular case, or on all the cases you want to have access to. It's a pretty quick process, as you saw. Okay. So I've been talking about the My Cases functionality, where you have access to all of your open and closed cases, confidential, non-confidential, the documents in those cases. I'm currently logged in as Mark. Mark is not an attorney. Mark is not a filing administrator. He's a great guy, but he's just none of those things. And so in his user menu, there's no My Cases menu item. Okay? So let's log out as Mark. And let's log in as somebody who does have access to that. Let's log in as Gail. Now, Gail, as it turns out, is a paralegal, not an attorney. Just pretend from that previous one that she wasn't going to, even though I said she was an attorney, but she's not really. So she's a paralegal, not an attorney. But we've given her the role of filing administrator, right, which means she has access to everybody's filings in our firm. So, as a filing administrator, if there are attorneys in your firm that have verified juris numbers in TurboCourt, then the filing administrator, even if they're not an attorney, will see the My Cases menu item. And she can then, or he can then, access the cases for those already verified attorneys in your firm. So you may want to give filing administrative access to paralegals and legal assistants for this reason. You can always remove it if you did realize it's a wrong decision. Oh God. All right. So user menu, My Cases. So because I am not an attorney, I have to choose the attorney for whom I'm trying to access cases. Now, if I was an attorney, then I wouldn't see this. I would just, well, if I'm an attorney who's not a filing administrator, it's just My Cases. I'll show you that in a moment. But because I'm a filing administrator, it's asking, okay, whose cases do you want to see? And it's going to show me everybody here who's already been verified. Okay, so I can say I want to see Evan's cases, and I can choose confidential, non-confidential, or both. Now, just to show you, this is another area of security authentication that happens anytime anybody wants to access confidential cases, attorneys, paralegals, whomever. I click continue. it's going to say, we want to verify who you are. You can do this by email or by text, and then you just provide the code, and you can access those confidential cases. You only do this one time per active TurboCourt session. So if you keep TurboCourt open all day, you can access confidential cases all day long. If I do this and I close it, and then after lunch I come back and I want to access more confidential cases, and I start a new browser, new version of TurboCourt, it's going to make me do this again, because these are confidential cases. We really need to make sure you are who you are, okay? But that's only for confidential cases. If I say, I only really need to see the non-confidential ones, let me continue. And there we go. So here we've got a list of all of the cases that we retrieved from the court system that Evan is involved in. Now, if there's lots and lots of them, there'll be multiple pages here. And I can click on any of these case numbers to actually see those filings, I mean, those documents, right? So I can click on that one. And once again, I've got access to all of the documents. You can see here there's multiple pages worth of documents showing the date received. Okay. From the My Cases area, I can also, not only do I see the documents, I can also see if there's any party information. So we've got party contact information as well. And we're just pulling this from the court. Okay? So if you're the attorney, you of course can do this because these are your cases. If you're a paralegal legal assistant, you can do this as long as you're selecting an attorney who's been verified and who is on the case. You can click Return to TurboCourt. This is brand new. I don't know if it will work. Yay. They literally did that like an hour ago. I love my team. Okay, so there you go. My Cases, really helpful, right? Access your cases, access your documents, access those invoices, which you can now pay, case party information, whatever you want, whether you're the attorney or the assistant working with the attorney. Okay? So, in quick review with regards to paralegals and legal assistants, when you're filing on behalf of the attorney or you're trying to access documents for a case that attorney is working on, you're essentially selecting the attorney, right? That attorney needs to have been verified. And if you're trying to access documents, they need to have already been on record as being party to that case. Okay? Once that has been established, you can file all you want as the paralegal or legal assistant.